Welcome to Tuesdays with Andrea. It's the inspiration station for everyday people guiding humanity forward. I'm your host, Andrea Rios McMillan, and every week I pursue conversations that matter with people who can relate to the common struggles we all face. You'll get to know the person behind the profession and find commonality with people of all ages, cultures, and backgrounds. Listen as friends, neighbors, and coworkers offer meaningful, personal explorations of modern life and the values we hold dear, all for the purpose of strengthening and uplifting others. All right. Well, hey, Jessica. Hi. Thank you for joining me on Tuesdays with Andrea podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
Yes. Well, you were basically referred to me. They're like, you have to interview this girl because she's doing some wonderful things in the community. And so, audience at home, this is Jessica Banta, and she is a restaurant manager and now founder of the Relief Coalition in Aurora. And basically, this is a new initiative that you started. So we'll jump right into it. Why don't you tell us about the program and how you dove right into it?
Sure. So Relief Coalition, we started this back in March. I was laid off March 15th for work, and I had to let all my servers and all my staff and bartenders go. We got a call when Governor Pritzker made the announcement saying as of March 17th, all restaurants are going to be closed. You can't come in. So that was really hard for me because I've been in the industry since I was 16. And so I know what the industry is like. I know what it's like to make tip money and live off your tips. So I started Relief Coalition. I called one of my good friends, Braden Lyon. I called him up and I asked him, I gave him this idea for Relief Coalition. Let's provide relief boxes to people who lost their jobs due to the pandemic. So that includes Uber drivers, gym people, restaurants, hospitality, the industry. So what we did was we partnered up with the Marie Wilkinson Foundation in Aurora. And Diane, she is a sage. She's been so helpful with us, teaching us all of this new stuff that we're doing. So we decided to create relief boxes. So we partnered up with Northern Illinois Food Bank. Every week we get 200 boxes from them, and then we add extra stuff in there. So your boxes are like, you provide meals for a week. So you can do spaghetti. One day we did spaghetti. Last week we gave out turkey. But each box you get, and this is for people who have been laid off, they don't have any money because of this pandemic. So we give them relief boxes. And in your relief box, it's a week worth of food for a family of 4. You can make it last longer. If you have 10 people living in with you in a household, then we're going to give you 2 boxes. But the boxes it's produce, non-perishable food. Sometimes we get dairy products. It's whatever we can get, and we give you these boxes for free. All we ask from you is to sign up. Sign up on our website, reliefcoalition.org. You can sign up and check us out on Facebook.
How do you guys verify? Do you guys do a verification process? Hey, you are in need and you deserve these boxes? Or is it basically whoever shows up and signs up online is eligible for a box?
We really, that's the hard part, is because we really want people to know, we will never turn somebody away. I mean, I had somebody drive through and he's like, I have $10 in my pocket. And he's like, and I have to get dairy. And he's like, and I got a baby at home. He's like, can you help? And of course, we're going to help you. Yeah. But we really try to focus on the people who have lost their job due to the coronavirus. We're not a food pantry. We're not trying to compete with any food pantries. We want to partner up with the food pantries and help them, help their audience.
Right.
But for us, it's mainly people who've been let go due to the coronavirus. But you show up, you get an RCO number, you give us your RCO number, and then we go ahead and go from there, and we'll help you. We give those people, their boxes. And all they need, we don't ask for any verification. I know we have some people who might have a difficulty with, with things trying to be verified and certified for that, but we don't differentiate between anybody.
And how did this idea come about? Because I know you said you met with the director there at the food pantry and your friend Brandon, but how did you get this idea to start? What made you actually take action?
It was hard. I was the manager on duty at the restaurant I work at, and I get a phone call telling everybody they have to be let go and everything.
Did you have advance notice?
We did not. I mean, I got a phone call at 4:00 saying, hey, it's close, do last call for food and drinks, and everybody's got to go. We thought we were going to be open Monday. We thought we were going to be open Tuesday for St. Patrick's Day. We didn't have any notice. And I couldn't sleep. I was really saddened because we were like a family here where I work. Anybody who works in the restaurant industry knows your family. It was hard for me. So I stayed up. I just couldn't sleep. I just had so much anxiety, and I was just like, oh my gosh, how can I help these people? And I just had this idea. I said, what if we give out relief boxes? And I called Brandon, I told him, and he was like, oh my gosh, I love this. Absolutely. He's like, let's try to make this possible. And he reached out to people he knew, and here we are today.
Yeah. And from that point, when you reach out to the Marie Wilkinson Food Pantry, do you just say, I want to help and here's an idea?
Well, we got really lucky because we knew some people who knew Diane, and they scheduled a meeting with her. But like, remember when the toilet paper shortage went out? Like, everybody was freaking out about toilet paper. And I had servers and staff here who were like, I need toilet paper, and they couldn't get toilet paper anywhere. And that's where like the idea for like household supplies came. Like, you know, we give out dish soap, hand soap, toilet paper if we can get it. And that's kind of just where that came from. Saying like how we met Diane, it was just, we kind of knew somebody who did marketing for the food pantry, and they connected us to her and got us in a meeting with Diane, and we told her what we wanted to do. And she was like, heck yes, how do I help? What can I do? And she's been a saint. So we worked with her. We would work with Judd Lofke and Suzanne Stegman, who's on the board for the food pantries. And they've all been a blessing, helping us, figuring out. We're both learning. I've never thought in a million years I'd work in a food pantry, and I absolutely love it.
What's the feedback that you've been getting from the community?
The best feedback that I get is directly from the people who pick up their box that day. I get emails all the time. I get people on Facebook reaching out to me like, Jessica, thank you so much for what you're doing. And, of course, you have some people who they're not happy with it or they complain, but and that's okay. I mean, we love the negative criticism. So it's like, how can we be better? What can we do? But majority of everything we've heard is nothing but positivity, and people are loving it. They're so like, thank you. And that's where the reward is. Like, we don't make $1 off Relief Coalition. And some people, like, any money we get donated to us, we go directly into the food boxes. So like starting in June, the Northern Illinois Food Bank is having a shortage of food. So they cannot continue giving us boxes. So now we're ordering food and putting everything in there. And that's going to cost us about $2,000 a week.
So are you guys ordering food from vendors and suppliers now because they're running out of food at the Northern Illinois Food Bank?
Yes, we are starting our ordering starting in June. So we're going to do all this ordering for the food every week. But for what somebody donates $1, we can get $7 worth of food because we're ordering through the food pantry and how they get their food.
Was that a 700% return?
Yes. And it's amazing.
Yeah. Okay. So where are you accepting donations?
Right now, we are accepting donations on GoFundMe. So we have a GoFundMe page because, like I said, when we started this, we don't have a 501c3 yet. We're waiting on the Secretary of State to push our 501c3 in. But with everything that's happening, everything's very, very slow. But we have a GoFundMe page. You can find that on our website, reliefcoalition.org, or you can find it on our Facebook page.
Okay. And how many total people have you guys helped so far? And what's the projected need to continue to help?
So far, we've donated, we haven't done our numbers from this week yet, but as of last week, we've donated over 30,000 pounds of food. Our boxes average a week. They differentiate, depends if we get meat or not, but they can go from 34 pounds to 55 pounds of food. And that's just for one family in one box.
Wow.
So far, we've helped almost 2,000 people. Our number, and like I said, that's not including last week. Telemundo, they did a special on us, and we got bombarded last week. I mean, last week usually we're doing about 250 boxes, and last week we did almost 400.
Wow. Who's packing all of this? Like, how are you guys coordinating this effort? Because it's a huge task.
Our volunteers are outstanding. We have volunteers who've been with us since week one. We could not do this without our volunteers. We became like a little family. They all just show up on Tuesdays. So our boxes get dropped off from the Northern Illinois Food Bank. And then whatever produce we have, like last week, Amazon donated a bunch of food to us, and it was like different drinks, meat, and they were just clearing out their stuff, and they heard about us donated. So whatever we get, like fresh produce, we will add that to the box. So the box is like pre-made from the Northern Illinois Food Bank. And then we add on top of that, like the produce, we have toilet paper if we have it. Whatever we have, we'll just add into the box and make sure that it's like, okay, if we get juice boxes, well, here's juice boxes. Like 1 week we did Easter baskets, and that was donated from the city of Aurora because they do their Easter egg hunt. So they donated over like 10,000 Easter eggs. And we did
That's
Easter
wonderful.
baskets for all the kids.
That's so cool. So what other things can you guys accept from local people wanting to give or businesses? Are there any items that you have your eye on that you really need or that people have been requesting?
People have been requesting a lot more produce and meat, and people really want that. Like we give them canned chicken every week, canned tuna, but
Mm-hmm.
we also some weeks, like last week, we had turkey, like fresh ground turkey. And then we had 1 week we had chicken legs, like frozen chicken leg quarters. They're very heavy. Like,
Yeah.
but we had those. And right now we are doing a food drive. So we partnered up with La Quinta, O'Malley's, Spartan House, and Beans, Grains, and Proteins. So they're local restaurants in Aurora. If you find on our Facebook page, we can tell you the dates that they are. If you take a bag of food for a food drive to that place, say, hey, I'm with Relief Coalition, I'm donating this, you'll get a certain % off your meal that day, your whole order.
And this is all on your website too, right? Is that?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And as well as our Facebook page. So we keep both of those up and running so people can find out the more information they need.
And are the immediate goals to continue to make the relief boxes, or are you guys trying to expand your service to the people in the community? Where are you looking to take this? And then I know you mentioned volunteers being a huge help in being able to deliver these relief boxes. Can you tell me more about how people can volunteer and what requirements there are for that?
So volunteering, we ask that everyone's 18 and up. We've had some people who wanted to volunteer and they said, hey, I had a family member who tested positive for the COVID. We ask anybody who's sick, please, we appreciate your efforts.
Yeah, stay home.
Right. Please stay home. Because we do get a lot of people who are like, oh, I had somebody tested positive, but I'm fine. And it's like, I'm sorry. But if you want to help, there's multiple ways you can help. You can help by sharing our posts on Facebook and letting people know about us. And you can volunteer at our facilities. We pack boxes. We help the food pantry pack boxes. You can volunteer as well, even just going to supporting the local restaurants that I said and bringing a grocery bag of groceries there, like canned goods. And because we're going to add that to our food boxes as well. And there's so many ways that these people can help. And if you want to help, you can volunteer. Go to our website. There's a link for it. But we only accept 10 volunteers a week at most.
Oh, okay.
Because just the guidelines and everything with the safety, we want everybody to be safe and 6 feet apart.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want anybody getting sick.
And do they sign up for that? How do they know if they're one of the 10?
We email you. But right now, of course we love volunteers and we encourage anybody to come volunteer. But right now we kind of have a lot of volunteers who come, like people just show up every week. But you could definitely, like I said, if we could share Facebook pages, please support by doing our food drive, bringing some groceries to the 4 restaurants with the days of their weeks, and do that because we could really use that. Like I said, the Northern Illinois quit doing our relationship that we had where they'd give us the 200 boxes because they were running out of food as well.
Yeah. And so it sounds like your biggest needs right now are donations to be able to buy the food, which, if you do donate, you're making a smart investment, first of all, but then you're helping people. It's certainly maximizing the dollars there because of your ability to buy the food. But then also through the donation of meat, canned goods, dairy products, things like that, they can just donate directly to you guys for those as well. Those are like the main needs right now.
Yes.
Yeah. And then of course, sharing on, social media and spreading the word. So more people are learning about these services that you guys are offering. I think it's incredible. So who runs this? Are you running it now? How many people are involved in the day-to-day coordination of all of the operations?
There's 5 of us who's doing it. And these 4 other people that I work with, they're incredible. I've learned so much from them. So Brandon Lyon, he does all of our marketing and he does all of our analytics. I'm not a computer person. I'm not going to lie to you all. Like I am awful with that. But Brandon, he has a degree in marketing. So he gives all the data and, sends out big emails for us. And then we have Diane, who's helping us at the food pantry. Then we have Judd Lofke, who is once our 501c3 comes in, we're going to have him be on our board.
And he's an alderman, right?
Yes.
As well.
And then his wife, Suzanne, she helps lead our way and gives us the advice that we need. She helps as well.
Yeah. So how do you feel now? You're kind of master of this whole huge operation and something that's doing such incredible good. How are you doing with all of this, and how are you taking it in, and how are you managing kind of all of these new responsibilities?
I think it's amazing. I mean, the best part of Relief Coalition is the fact that we're helping people. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't know what's going on in somebody's house. And I absolutely love it. I mean, I feel so blessed and I'm so lucky to truly be able to help and give back. And,
Yeah.
if this is, this took off way more than I thought it was going to. I thought we were just going to be like, all right, 200 boxes. That's easy. Well, it'll be fine. And then once our numbers started going and we get people who just show up and they're like, I need help. It's like, oh my
I
gosh.
need help.
And that's my problem. I have a hard time saying no to people. Like when somebody's like needs help, I'm like, oh my gosh, how can I help you? What do you need?
What do you need? What do you need?
Let me call some people. Let me see what I can do to help you.
Yeah. So how has this changed your day-to-day life? Are you still working? Well, no, because you got let go at the restaurant position. Are you guys resuming that now that kind of, everything's opening? And how does this change for you?
I am learning how to balance 2 full-time jobs. Let me just say it like that. But, I was very lucky because I am back at my restaurant job. We came back on May 7th. So I've been back since 7th. But, it's unique. It's very unique. I'm working 5 days a week at the restaurant and I'm so grateful for my GM because he works very well with me and he's like, okay, I know you got Relief Coalition. I'll let you have Tuesdays off for distribution. And then if I have meetings he's like, all right, go take your meeting, just do it here. So I'm very lucky with that, but it's quite unique. And I just got I have a 6-month-old puppy at home too. So it's like, I'm very
perfect time. Well, if you're home,
I know,
and it sounds like you're not home.
Well, the coronavirus was great. It was very when that happened, it was like, okay, I can potty train her. We can learn tricks. Like we're good.
Yeah.
And then I had Relief Coalition. I just can't stay fit. Like I just can't sit still.
I'm happy though that you're back at your restaurant job. And it sounds like, everybody's being very supportive, which is helpful. And that's what you want right now in times like this is just support from the community as you're trying to also make such progress yourself. What got you to think I can do more? I guess that's one of my biggest questions when I hear about your story and your ability to take action and to know that there's something possible. And I know that we've talked about your friends playing a big role and the other people that kind of came into the picture. But where did you get that I guess belief from? Like, hey, there is something within me that I can still do and give.
I'm 25, so I'm young, and I didn't know that, I didn't know that I was going to be so affected and moved. And, I have staff here that whole weekend before we closed where people weren't coming out. We had staff who were showing up and they were just like, they would be like begging not to go home because they need like a 4th table just to make $50 to go buy formula for the kids and I didn't know that I had it. Like, it just hit me and it was just like, oh my gosh, I have to do something. I don't care what it is. How can I do stuff? How can I help? And it just came out and it was very like, oh, wow. And then once we got the momentum and once we started going and it was just like, yes. And even with us, like I have people who had staff who couldn't drive. They didn't have cars or they had kids at home. They couldn't leave their house. So we were driving to people's houses, dropping off the relief boxes at their houses. And like the motivation for this was the people, like knowing all these people that are out and people are wanting to help the essential workers, but yes, you should, like, absolutely, they are saving our lives. But, the people, we don't want people to think that they're left behind or they're forgotten. Mm-hmm. And these are my people, the people in the industry, in the hospitality industry. Like, I view them as like my people. You guys get it. You know what it's like working holidays. We're in it
together. Yeah. We're all doing the same work. And you were infected by it just as much as they were. And that means something. I can imagine. In terms of your wanting to make sure that they're taken care of.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And it was hard too. Like it was, I had some people who, were crying, like when it was like, I'm sorry. I was like, they're just bawling their eyes out. And they're like, how am I going to feed my family? How am I going to pay the bills? And thankfully Nicor and ComEd and Xfinity and, all these companies, they back paid their payments, but we want to keep Relief Coalition going because these people, 3 months from now, ComEd's going to start calling and being like, okay, your power's going to get shut off if you don't pay back from coronavirus, like from the pandemic. Yeah. These people are trying to play catch up as well as trying to feed their families and live their everyday lives. when everything resumes. So it's like, I really hope that we can continue the relief boxes because, people are going to need it. They're going to need
They're
support.
still going to need it. Even when they do get their jobs back, you're right. The money that if they are, able to withhold payment or at least pause, funds are going to be needed, and food is going to be something that people are going to have to cut sometimes if you're making decisions between rent or food or rent or childcare.
And I want people to know, I know because we're not a 501c3 yet, but 100% of the money that we get donated is going into these relief boxes. We are not making any money. I know I've had people ask me let's see, making some money. No, we're not making any money. We don't want a dollar. We're doing this because we love helping the people. And that's where our inspiration is. It's all the thank yous and all the positive feedback that we're getting. And, the people, multiple people pick up every week. They've been picking up with us since our first week. And they are just thank you so much. Thank you. And that's where it's we want to keep feeding these people because they're depending on it.
Yeah.
And if we have to stop, that's going to be very heartbreaking and feel terrible. But this at least we can do to help in the meantime, and hopefully we can continue our services. But like you said, it's $2,000 a week, and not everybody has money, so it's very hard and difficult.
So, what are you most proud of after all of this? What really sticks with you?
The people we've helped, absolutely, and I keep going back to the people that we're helping, and I mean, we have so many people that's the best part. I mean, Tuesdays we're in the middle of it, and you got people who are yelling at you, and they don't, there's a language barrier, and you're trying to figure it out. And it's ma'am, I'm not trying to tell you no. It's just I just need your information.
Yeah. Do you need translators?
We have one lady. Her name is Jenny. She's one of our volunteers, and she's fantastic. But we could, because poor Jenny, bless her heart, she's done card.
I'm not a translator. I'm not fluent in Spanish. I only know keywords, but a lot of people I know are.
Reach out to me if you want to come volunteer on Tuesdays or help with the language barrier. We definitely appreciate it. I'd love some Spanish lessons myself personally.
It's useful to know. It really is.
It is.
And so when you think about where you guys want to grow and get to and continue to help people, what are your aspirations for where you want to take this in a year or 2 years? Are you guys thinking that far yet? Or have you been pretty much, let's get through this week, let's get through tomorrow?
So we are definitely thinking long term. What happened with the Henry Pratt shooting was awful. That was so close to home. And it was just, I even got goosebumps just thinking about it. But it's just so sad. And so for us, we want, for right now, the meantime is to how can we, we're going to feed people, but maybe a year from now, when everything's all settled down, people don't need food because then they can go to the food pantry and they don't need Relief Coalition. They're not embarrassed or shamed, or cause some people have that stigma I'm not going to a food pantry, I'm too good for the pantry. And it's oh, but you could use the help. It's that's humble. For us, the goal for Relief Coalition is, I pray to God that there's nothing catastrophe happens with Henry Pratt. But if something happens in Aurora where they need help, Relief Coalition, we can be hey, we got funds. Let's pay for these funeral costs. Hey, firefighters, they need bulletproof vests. How can we donate some money to you guys? Help you guys get what you need. Police station, they need support for the canines, dog food. I don't know. I'm just spitting off ideas, and it's just
relief. Whoever needs relief.
Yes, and that's the end goal. We're going to continue doing the relief boxes as long as possible. If unfortunately we have to just continue the relief boxes, we are working to get our 501c3 to become a nonprofit that can give relief to the community. Somebody needs help, or something how can we do it? How can we help the community?
Do you need other help from other people in the community in terms of leadership? Are you guys pretty good on that front? Are you looking to partner with other townships or cities?
So we thought it would be really cool if people in California saw what we were doing, or people in New York or Utah or Georgia, and they could be oh my gosh, I could do relief boxes in my community. And we want people to help out your community. We hope that if we do become big enough that if something happens in Oswego or Plainfield, we can help the neighboring communities, Batavia, North Aurora. We can help But as of right now, our main focus is Aurora. But that's just because we're still really small. We're not that big.
And basically you laid out a really good blueprint, which is if you find yourself in another area and you notice a need to where it's really consuming your thoughts, there's ways to get in contact with people who lead those local programs, and then really share your vision or idea of how you want to help. And then, hopefully it expands and grows larger. I mean, that's exactly what you did, and it worked and proved to be the right model for you guys. And I hope that somewhere down the road, somebody else sees this and maybe gets inspired to see that there is an option. Maybe it doesn't work out in their case the same way, but it's really about sharing your story and sharing your heart. And then hopefully that being received in some way by someone else who's also willing.
And I think too, like, you're never too old. You're never too young. Doesn't matter if you're male, female, or if you don't identify as either. We all bleed red, and it doesn't matter what you look like, who you are. It's help the next person, help your neighbor. That's really what I hope people get from Relief Coalition. It's like, wow, like our slogan is, by the people, for the people. And so
what does that motto mean? Can you explain that?
So I'm a restaurant manager. Brandon has a degree in marketing. Judd is an alderman who's a lawyer. Diane works at a food pantry. We're just regular people.
Yeah, this is what I love. This is what I love. You're regular people who have a vision for good and are actually doing it. And you find a way to work together and to just make it happen.
I mean, I'm in my 20s. Brandon's in his 30s. I don't know Diane or Judd's age or Suzanne's, and I won't ever say that.
We won't say it if we did.
But, and it's just, we all come from different backgrounds. We all come from different, lifestyles. Yeah. And we all came together to make a difference. Yeah. And that's what we really want people to know. It's like, it doesn't matter who you are, how old you are. You see people, I saw what's happening in Aurora. This guy was mowing the elderly's lawn for free. Yeah. And it was like, that's awesome. And that's the stuff we want to see. We have so much negativity in the news, and some of it needs to come to light, but
that's really the stuff we want to see, right?
Yes.
The Jessica Bantas of the world, the Judd Lofkes and his wives of the world, right?
Yes.
And the Dianes of the world and the Brandons. We don't know Brandon yet, but but he's doing a great job with marketing.
He sure is. And he's really taught me a lot. I mean, Brandon's been amazing this whole time. He's taught me so much, things that I didn't know. And he's like, oh, this is be smart. And he's like, here, this is how you're going to send out an e-blast to all these emails. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. Thank you. So he's been really great.
So how did you get in touch with the Fox Valley group?
So we got in touch. They found us. They found me. They found Relief Coalition, and Marty and Jose, they've just been reaching out to me and they scheduled an interview. They wanted to do a meeting, and how can we help? What can we do? And it's frustrating to me because it's like, I wish there was more I could do, but I also have to, work my full-time job too. And be here, and I have responsibilities here, but they've just been so great. They've been so wonderful. They write articles about us. I'm like, who are these people? And then I found out, and I was like, wow,
I same thing. So I started, I told you I'm new at this podcast.
You're doing great though. I love it.
Thank you. But the goal is just to spread light and positivity and love, and to put some goodness out in the world, and to shine a light on good people. And, Mr. Rogers, you remember Mr. Rogers?
Yeah.
Do you know Mr. Rogers?
I watched the remake of Mr. Rogers.
Okay.
So I do know.
So he would say this thing like, find the helpers in the world. And I just always am like, find the helpers. And that was the goal of this, is how can we just shine a light on the local people helping, and local meaning in our local communities, people who really don't have that screen time or the airtime or the visibility yet.
Sure.
And Martin Flowers from the Fox Valley group, he reached out, and he's like, hey, here's this girl, and they're doing the Relief Coalition, and they're doing some great things. And I'm like, awesome, I'm on it. And so I'm so glad that we were able to connect and to touch base because of that. And I'm happy to share your story. What are those top lessons learned so far from humanity or people?
So I think Three things that I really learned from Relief Coalition is I've learned that as much as I want to say yes to everybody, I can't. No matter how bitter some people are in the world and as unhappy as they are with what you gave them, or, they, at least you're helping. At least, you know what, when they eat that macaroni and cheese, they'll think of you and they'll remember that, hey, that mac and cheese is from Relief
That mac and
Coalition.
cheese was, yeah.
You are so welcome. But, I've never really worked with people other than people in the hospitality industry. And I came together with all these other people who have, and, learning lessons from them and, learning how to respond to certain situations and certain people that and I get that in the restaurant. I mean, the restaurants, you get everybody and their mamas. And it's,
yeah.
just, okay. And you learn. But Relief Coalition is very different because it's like you want to help these people, and it's like I can't help you. I'm sorry. And that's just because we just ran out of all of our food.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also learned from this. I've learned how to do a lot of computer stuff and learned how to pull data, and I've learned how to, it's like constantly being creative too. With Relief Coalition, like we're always being creative. We have our talent show that's coming up. We have a talent show. We did a Relief Aid concert online. So I'm learning how to do events online, which is cool. Like, how do I do a virtual event?
Okay, so you will do more virtual events, I'm assuming, right? How is virtual events going for you? Is it proving to be useful? Is it proving to be beneficial in terms of even promotion for the cause? Do you get a lot of attendance? What are some good, I guess, and some good things and then some drawbacks to it?
Good things is everybody's quarantined. So yeah, everybody,
what else are they going to do?
Right. The good things is, you get people who, you don't have to get everybody together. You can have people submit their videos and then we'll do all the pre-recording and then we push it live. And then we also have some stuff that, what's cool is, you get people from all over the place. Like with our Relief Aid concert, we had people from Chicago who submitted talent. Drawbacks, I would say, is people can tune in and out, so they get bored. I feel like we could raise a lot more money if we were in person, because you could host an event. Okay, you got the cocktails, you got the atmosphere, the ambiance, you've got all the little details that go into it, and people are like, wow, that was a really cool event. And that's hard, because it's like people, everybody's kind of learning, people have to be learned. Even the chambers, they're doing their events online and it's Zoom meetings. And that's a little weird too and different, but
a lot of organizations are having to do virtual because that's the only way to reach an audience now.
Yes.
And then everybody's at home. Even in my organization, all of our events, and we are a nonprofit, and so we count on events as being a huge engagement mechanism for all of our membership and then our base, and we've had to do everything virtual, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. The good is we're able to reach a larger audience, a wider audience for sure. And you do have more people participating. But to your point, I don't think anything can really beat that in-person, face-to-face experience of, hi, how are you? And all of the intricacies that go on to being able to be at an event with other people. There's a lot of value in that. And I think the world really misses that right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
They definitely do. And it's hard too. I mean, even for us, we're opening up and we've gotten a huge list of everything that we have to do. And I was talking to one of the police officers in Aurora, and he was telling me, okay, he's like, our department got split up into, 4 groups. So then there are, 25% officers and then, so on and so forth. But they have to work with the same people every day. They don't get to see, my friend who I used to work with, they don't get to see that. And we have to do the same thing because of what's happening with the coronavirus. So now it's like, okay, we have to group everybody together. It's like, okay, you people are always going to work with these same people, and then so on and so forth. And that's what they're doing with the police. Because if somebody gets sick, okay, at least we can quarantine this, this percent, but we still have all these rest percent ready.
I can't wait until we get back to at least a better normal than what it is right now, which is a little bit more restrictive, but we understand the reasons why. But it certainly is something that I'm happy to get past this phase as soon as we can.
Oh, absolutely. And I definitely feel like some good and there's some bad. And, like my grandfather, my papa, we're very close. I love him my whole heart. And he has COPD, he has bronchitis. And for him, it's like, for me, I freak out. I'm like, don't leave the house. Like,
yeah, because he's immunocompromised.
And that's what I tell everybody. It's like, we even tell people who were working for us, it's like, if you can't come back to work because you have older parents at home, or you live with your grandparents, or you have a baby at home. My friend, she had a baby. And it's like, we have to tell people, like, hey, we respect it. Think of your family, and if you're healthy, great. If not, we're with you, but do whatever you can to protect your family. But I don't know if we'll ever go back to normal. We'll definitely hear to tell our kids about this.
Yeah, but it'll be a better normal, hopefully, or at least a new normal.
Yes.
I know it'll be something we could tell our kids and grandkids for sure. My oldest is 16. And he's been waiting because the DMV has been closed. So he can't get his license. And so we just got the notice that he can go and get his license starting in June. And he is just counting down. And the other two, they're, to them, this is like, what, I can play video games more. I can be virtual with my friends. Like, this is awesome. And now that it's summertime, they're like, wait a minute, I can't, I want to play. I want to go outside. I want to hang out. So it's definitely something that they'll remember. Hopefully they'll remember also all of the good that's come out of it, from people like yourself who are giving and helping, when they don't have to. I think that's like the very special part. You don't have to,
Thank you.
Where do you find your strength? And kind of what's your source of inspiration aside from the people that you're helping and kind of that feel good aspect of it? Where do you draw strength from and that source of inspiration?
I would say I'm very lucky. I'm like a sponge. I soak up. You tell me something, I'll soak it up, and I can, I can learn a lot, and I try to learn as quickly as possible. But I would say my strength is like I'm a sponge, and my weakness is I can't say no. That's a problem. What motivates me is the inspiration, and that's where I keep going. And it's just like, if I was roles reversed, I would pray that, I wish there's somebody, somebody who would be out there doing it. I couldn't imagine being in this situation. And I think if roles were reversed, I would be like, how can we help? Like, where can I go to get help? And that's kind of where I get a lot of this from, is like, I would say, I think about, if it was me, I would want the help. And if I needed it, I would want the help. Mm-hmm. And for me, I'm very lucky because, like, you tell me something and I'm going to soak it up. From Judd, Suzanne, Brandon, and Diane, like, I'm learning so much from them. And from my past jobs that I've worked, it's like I've learned how to handle all sorts of people and get thrown just anything at you. And you're like, okay, this is what we're doing.
One of the themes on this show that I like to ask people is about the pivotal people in their life, like people who've helped them along the way. So it doesn't have to be recent. But when you think about some of those like transformative people who've changed the way that you are or helped you into being who you are, would you mind sharing a few of those people with us?
Sure. So I would say, are we doing personal or career? Because I definitely have different people first.
I would say, I personally, I think personal matters more than career, because I think personal is the foundation for career. I feel like our career is truly just an extension of who we are, of our personality. But there are people in my career that I'm like, oh, you really helped me there.
You've taught me.
So I would say whoever you want to talk about.
So I would say some of the most pivotal people in my life, and I would definitely say my grandfather, my papa, we're very, very close. He's raised me with the morals and values that I have, and he's definitely taught me how to be a better person and, love thy neighbor. And he's taught me, justice is life, this is what it is, and, how to kind of get through the mud. And we talk almost every day. We're very, very close.
Is he in Plainfield?
No, he's in Indiana.
Indiana. What does he say about the work that you're doing now?
He loves it. He's, my papa, he's very close with his church, and he goes to church all the time, and he's very proud. And that's the goal in my life. I want to make Papa proud. It's a little
Oh,
so I say. So I'm doing it. And then my dad was one of the hardest working men I've ever met in my life. He still is. I mean, my dad works, growing up, when my sister was born, he went and got a second job, and my mom could stay at home with the kid, like with us. And he was always telling me, even with this whole pandemic, my dad was like, don't be on unemployment. I need you to go get a job because unemployment's going to run out. I mean, he's just one of those people that's very like straight to the point. He tells you facts and tells you like, Jess, you got to work. I mean, when I was, 16, he was like, all right, you're old enough to go get a job. We can't pay for you to get to college. So you're going to have to figure it out.
mm-hmm.
And I'm grateful for that. He had a tough attitude, but he was always like, I call him for, Dad, how do I do these? All right, I want to look into rent something or buy a car. All right, this is how you're going to do it.
Yeah. It sounds like he instilled a really great work ethic in you.
Oh, he did.
Right.
And
so during this time, you're working. Yeah. Your dad is probably very proud of you. I might venture to say.
And he's not a very man of words. Let me tell you, my father does not say much, but when he says something, you're like, okay.
Wait,
he tells me all the time. So I'm so proud.
Does he get to see it? Do you send him articles or, any clippings of?
So he's so funny. He will find an article, or he'll find, he reposts all of our stuff for Relief Coalition, and my dad, and I'll be like, Dad, I haven't even been on Facebook yet. And
yeah. Is he your top Facebook fan?
I would say he's definitely one of them. My father is definitely very him and my mom, they both are. They're so funny. If one of them gets the article, the other one will repost it, and they're like, so I'm very lucky. I grew up from a very loving family we're very supportive to one another.
Yeah.
And build each other up. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What was your career goals? I know this completely changed everything for you, and now it's shot off in another way, but what did you want to do before?
So I've always wanted to be an event coordinator or event planner. I want to plan people's weddings. Let me plan your happiest day of your life, and that's
where you're doing that in a very different way.
Yes.
Isn't that crazy?
And it's cool though, because I've planned events before. I planned weddings, and I've done different rehearsals. I've done different events that I planned. And it's really cool though, because it's I get the same high that I get after an event that I've done as giving somebody a relief box. And that is amazing, because I was the only you go, people get the runner's high. I get a work high. Oh, that was a successful event. Oh, that was so smooth. Everybody's so, and that's how I get from Relief Coalition. It's the high, it's the feel good. And it's we just fed all these people today.
Yeah.
People don't have to worry about going hungry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I've definitely taken the skills that I've learned from other places and brought them in here.
Yeah. And then how do you relax and how do you decompress now? How do you find ways to keep your sanity amidst all of the, the high pressure, high responsibilities that you're facing on the day-to-day? What do you do to keep yourself going and keep yourself energized?
Sleep.
Yeah.
When I can. Sleep. But I do a lot of meditation. I'm very, I believe in mental health. I think that's so important. And if you're not right up here, you're not going to be able to help other people or, be best at what you're doing. So I meditate, and I have dogs. So I'm always home with them. When I have time, all right, I take the dog for a run, and it's how, and I spend a lot of time with my family. I spend time with my family and my friends. My friends are like family to me. It's a very tight-knit group, and it's I just surround myself with positive people and surround myself with people who are just, they're happy. We can laugh. People who make you feel good about yourself.
All right. Well, Jessica, this was great. I appreciated talking to you. Is there anything else that you wish to share or want to get out there before we end?
You sure? Thank you so much again for having me, though. This was a blast. This is my first podcast that ever was here.
Oh, this is your first? Yay!
Yes. I do want people to know, though, with Relief Coalition, please donate all of our money. Like I said, we're not having funds, the relief boxes next month, starting June. So please donate. Please help with the community. Please take part in our food drive. Check out our Facebook page. Check out our website, reliefcoalition.org. And if anybody needs help, feel free to reach out to me. My email is jessica@reliefcoalition.org. Email me, see what we can do. So please, guys, donate. We really appreciate it. Even if it's just canned goods, you can drop canned goods off at Marie Wilkinson Food Pantry and say, hey, these are for Relief Coalition, and Diane will know exactly where they're going.
Yeah, you're doing fantastic job, Jessica. And I'm thrilled to share your story here. And I can't wait to follow up with you and see how it's going. And I hope you guys support her and support this mission and visit the Facebook page, visit the website. Shout out to Marty. Thank you for connecting us. We appreciate you. I will also put the link for them on the website as well when this podcast airs. So thank you. Have a great week. And I wish you much success, much blessings your guys' way.
Thank you so much. And once again, thank you so much for having us and having me. And I really appreciate it.
Likewise. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Tuesdays with Andrea. There are hundreds of thousands of podcasts out there, and I appreciate you making the time to listen to mine. If you like this show and want to know more, check out TuesdaysWithAndrea.com, or please leave a review on iTunes or drop a line in the YouTube comments section. Until next time, please stay kind in your mind, nice on the web, and stay hella hopeful in your heart.